The rain had been falling since morning, the kind that didn't rush but lingered, soft, steady, and heavy with unspoken thoughts. Daniel Carter stood alone at the small bus stop at the edge of Grayford Town, staring at the old house across the road. He hadn't been back in 10 years. The house looked smaller than he remembered. Its white paint had faded into a tired gray, and the wooden fence leaned like it was too exhausted to stand straight. This was the place where everything had begun and where everything had ended. Daniel adjusted the strap of his backpack and took a slow breath. He hadn't come here by choice. The letter had forced him to return. The letter with no sender's name. Daniel's phone buzzed in his pocket. A message from his landlord. "House sold. You need to vacate in 2 weeks." Perfect timing, he thought bitterly. 2 weeks ago, his life had been simple. Boring, but predictable. He worked at a small publishing company in the city, lived alone, and avoided thinking about the past. Then, the letter arrived. It had been slipped under his apartment door. No stamp, no address, just his name written in neat, unfamiliar handwriting. Daniel Carter. Inside was a single sentence. "If you want the truth, come back to Grayford before it's too late." He had tried to ignore it, but some things don't let go that easily. The front door of the old house creaked loudly as Daniel pushed it open. Dust filled the air, dancing in thin lines of light from the broken windows. The smell of damp wood and forgotten memories wrapped around him. "This place should have been demolished years ago," he muttered. His footsteps echoed as he stepped inside. The furniture was gone, but the walls still held faint marks, where frames once hung, where a clock once ticked endlessly. This was his childhood home, and the place where his father disappeared. Daniel climbed the stairs slowly. Each step groaned under his weight, as if protesting his return. At the end of the hallway was a door, slightly open. His old bedroom. He pushed it wider. The room was exactly how he remembered it. The cracked ceiling, the scratched wooden floor, even the small carved initials on the window frame, D.C. Daniel walked to the window and looked out. The backyard was overgrown with weeds now, but he could still picture himself running there as a child, laughing, unaware of how fragile life really was. His eyes fell on the floor near the wall. Something was wrong. One of the wooden planks looked newer. Daniel knelt down, his heart beginning to beat faster. He pressed his fingers against the edge of the plank and pulled. It came loose easily. Underneath was a small metal box, rusted but intact. His breath caught. "Why would this be here?" he whispered. The box was locked, but age had weakened it. With a little force, the lock snapped open. Inside were 3 things: an old photograph, a folded piece of paper, a key. Daniel picked up the photograph first. It showed his father standing with 2 other men. One he recognized instantly. Mr. Holloway, the town's most respected man. The other man's face had been scratched out. Daniel's hands trembled. "This doesn't make sense," he said quietly. His father had always told him to stay away from Holloway, said he wasn't what he seemed, but no one ever listened. Holloway was a hero in Grayford, or so everyone believed. Daniel unfolded the paper. It was a letter, not the one that brought him here, but written in the same handwriting. "Daniel, if you are reading this, it means I've failed. There are things you must never trust, especially the people everyone admires. They are watching. The key opens the locker. You will find answers there. Do not involve the police. Dad." Daniel felt the room spin. His father hadn't abandoned them. He had been hiding, or worse. A sudden sound echoed from downstairs, a floorboard creaking. Daniel froze. Someone else was in the house. He listened carefully, barely breathing. Another sound followed. Slow footsteps. Not rushed, not accidental, intentional. Daniel quietly closed the box and slipped the key into his pocket. His mind raced. No one knew he was here. No one should be here. The footsteps stopped. A voice spoke softly from below. "Daniel, I know you're home." His blood turned cold. That voice, he knew it. Daniel stepped back, his heart pounding so loudly he was sure whoever was downstairs could hear it. The voice spoke again. "You shouldn't have come back."